Welcome back. I am Tyler here with my brother Ryan, and today we are breaking down the Houston Texans 3-round mock draft and who all they selected and why. But before we do that, be sure to like, subscribe, and also ring the bell to get notified whenever we create new Houston Texans mock drafts. We have 3-round, 7-round, and also individual mock drafts leading up all the way to the 2024 NFL Draft. Also, too, this is your first time here. One, welcome. But also, we are trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the Super Bowl. We just need about 10 or 15 new subscribers per video. We're doing a 3-round mock draft for all 32 teams. So it's very easy and helps out the channel by just liking, subscribing. And Ryan, let's get on to the Texans mock draft here. So Texans had an amazing season overall. Congratulations to them. Definitely going to be a huge threat for the NFL moving forward. So they don't have their first-round pick. Because of the trade with the Cardinals to go up and get Will Anderson. But they do have the Cleveland Browns pick for the first round, thanks to trading off Deshaun Watson, which I'm going to say for everybody, I think the Texans won that trade. So
100%.
I think they won that trade.
Yeah.
And I think the Texans can beef up a little bit on the interior, maybe a little bit on the secondary as well, and some areas in the defense, particularly maybe even in the linebacking room as well. And with all those said, there's not really too many good players that you should be taking here at 23 as of right now. And that's why Ryan and I want to hear your thoughts on this, looking back on it. I really do still like Troy Franklin in this offense. If he is here at 23, I think this is the type of guy, put him alongside. I think he's a good opposite to Nico Collins while still being an outside receiver. And then Tank Dell in the slot. And I feel like even then you can still kind of also put Troy Franklin in the slot as well. Tank Dell outside. You can move both of them around also. So I think they're both extremely versatile. And so I really like him in this offense as a whole. What are your overall thoughts kind of on Troy Franklin?
Yeah. So I think you touched on it, and like he's different than anything that they have, right? He's Nico Collins' height with kind of, I guess, Tank Dell's build. And he's 6'3", 185, 190. And he's just super explosive, very quick twitch. He has good hands. And to me, I think at the NFL level, he projects to be a really solid Z receiver. So you have your traditional X, which is your outside guy. You have your slot, which is the Tank Dell of the world. And then on the other side, you have your Z receiver who's going to kind of play off the line of scrimmage. He's not going to get nearly as many one-on-one man coverage reps. But I think that is going to be favorable for Troy Franklin being at that weight. He's not going to face nearly as much press man coverage as usual. He's going to be able to use his burst to get off the line of scrimmage. And I think if you look at this Texans offense right now, when Tank Dell was on the field, they had no problem creating space whatsoever. Yeah. And then now I think you throw in Troy Franklin into that mix, and it is just a monstrous offense with a bunch of speed, explosiveness, guys who can catch really well down the field. And I love this pick. To me, if they just come out of this draft with Troy Franklin, I think that's a win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I just think he's going to add a lot of explosiveness. I say some other potential options as well, like we threw a Tez Walker, but I think edge rusher could also be a sneaky one.
There's a stipulation. Jonathan Grenard is a free agent, and he was their leading rusher last year. And so if they re-sign him, I don't think edge rusher is that's high of a need. But yeah, sorry, I just wanted to touch on that.
No, and that's a fair point too. They do re-sign him, and even then too, I think you can go get edge rushers here with your next pick. So let's move on though to the second pick for the Houston Texans. Their original pick here at pick 49. They do have them going with Brandon Dorales there. That's not the correct pick. So they ended up picking at the 59.
59.
59 position here. Yeah, so it's a little bit later. I thought that was a little too soon for them, but it's actually pick 59, and then all the other picks in front of them are still correct here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Green Bay Packers as well, and then also the Bills and the Chiefs. So going with defensive tackle here, I think this is one of the areas where they did need to improve on a little bit. They could have taken Leonard Taylor early on, or maybe even potentially trade it for Jersey Newton if they want to give up some draft capital, go get a stud there. I think it's one of the areas that they do need to improve on is just on that interior of the defensive line. But this is a guy here I really like, just getting good value here at the end of the second round. Some other potential options, Austin Frazier went a couple picks later. It was their center. I know they got Juice Scruggs, but potentially not Austin Frazier, Zach Frazier could move in also. to guard as well, help beef up that interior. And some other defensive linemen like Rook Aurora as well.
Yeah.
So, what's your overall thoughts on the Brandon Dorales pick?
Yeah, I like this. I think he's a slightly undersized tackle, about 6'3", 290 ish. And all of our heights and weights are estimates, by the way, because we haven't done the combine yet, and so we don't know the official draft weight. But for me, I think he's a pocket collapser from the top of the pocket, and he just, to me, I think you throw in I think they would be stupid not to bring back Jonathan Grenard. But you throw Will Anderson, Jonathan Grenard, and then this guy in the middle. I think he's going to be wrecking a lot of pockets and doing well. And then also for an undersized guy, I think he does well against the run. And I would love to see kind of what he's able to bring in that kind of system. So D'Amico Ryans, I think, would put him in great spots. He has Christian Harris behind him, and then two great edge rushers on the side. So I really like this pick. Let's move on to their third round pick here. Jarrian Jones, the cornerback out of, I believe, Florida State. And to me, a very versatile guy. You put him opposite of Derek Stingley. They don't really have a guy on the other side of Derek Stingley. He can kind of play inside and outside. And then, again, I've kind of said this with a lot of the corners, but he did play some safety as well. And so if he doesn't work out at corner, you can kind of move him back to safety and have him be in like the deep, have him cover a deep third or a deep half, just depending on what coverages that they decide to run. So I really like this pick as well. Add some depth in the secondary, and what are your thoughts on this one?
Same thing. I think that's one area because Derek Stingley is definitely developing into one of the top cornerbacks in the league. He had a really good sophomore year after kind of being banged up for a majority of his rookie year. But I think trying to find a guy and at minimum, as you said, some good depth and also potentially move to safety as well. Very athletic. And so looking forward to seeing how he does in the combine and kind of over these next couple of months in the draft process. They also want to go another corner, Max Melton out of Rutgers, I think would be a great option also. So, but
yeah,
in general, though, I think this Houston Texans draft, as you mentioned, getting Troy Franklin here, I think is just a huge pick overall. I definitely just adding on to like already a pretty solid position, I would say, for the Texans as a whole. But I'm definitely started after doing all these mock drafts, love the best player available mentality. And I think specifically for the Texans there, when they could have gone edge, they maybe could have gone offensive line. They maybe could have gone cornerback or secondary if they really like a guy like Cameron Kitchens or maybe Kamari Lassiter or if Ennis Rakestraw is available. But then there's still a lot of up in the air. While with Troy Franklin, I don't know. He does provide that elite versatility. And with CJ Stroud, you're still going to want to have a lot of weapons for him in the future. And so I think getting him, you also get the fifth-year rookie option with Troy Franklin. So I really just do like that pick. Brandon Dorales and Jarrian Jones, I think just really good rookie pieces to come in and compete for starting spots on day one. And at minimum, just depth pieces as a whole.
Yeah, no, I mean, to me, like I said, I would be happy coming out of this draft with just Troy Franklin for this offense. And then Brandon Dorales, I think, would be a really good fit. Pass rushing defensive tackle that actually can hold up against the run a little bit. And then Jarrian Jones, a versatile corner, who actually I realized didn't allow a touchdown in 2023. So I think that's just a really good sign for him. I think D'Amico Ryans in that defense would do great with a guy like that. So, I really, again, just to kind of round things out, I really like what the Texans have done here. I think they did have done a fantastic job over the last few off seasons of building this team. And then I think you look at what they've done or what they could do this offseason, and they could really go from worst to first and be a legit Super Bowl contender, similar to what the Bengals were able to do.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, who knows, man? The sky's the limit. It's going to be a lot of fun to see CJ Stroud, and I hope he doesn't have the sophomore slump. I don't think he will, just considering everything. I'd be curious, though, if Bobby Slowick does move on, kind of what does happen to that offense, because we've seen now over the past couple of years when offensive coordinators move, how does the new guy do, and how do they react to that system?
Yeah. So It's all great questions, and we will find out in short order. But for now, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on what you thought of this Houston Texans mock draft. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you do differently?